the opening of a very special park and community center in District 1, and a new public safety position in the City of Phoenix. I'm Councilman Dave Siebert. We'll talk about that next on The Issues. Welcome to On the Issues. I'm Phoenix City Councilman Dave Siebert. I'm very excited about the opening of a new park and community center in District 1. Melody Burkett gives us this report.
A new 40-acre park and community center is getting ready to open near 35th Avenue and Pinnacle Peak Road. The Paseo Highlands Park features all kinds of amenities. Many you're able to see from this outside patio balcony area.
But the beauty of it is, as you look out into the park over here, it really gives you a beautiful view of the hillsides looking to the south and southwest in the Phoenix area. And as you can see, the park has loads of amenities for everyone. Playground, we've got a climbing wall, volleyball, sand volleyball court, a basketball court. The two little small buildings out there are restroom buildings. We have two softball courts, softball fields out to the south here, and then soccer will be over here kind of directly to our right.
Inside, a big feature is the gymnasium.
The gymnasium here, one of the special features that we have for it is that above, if you kind of look on the second floor, surrounding it, we have a running track. And so people are really looking forward to being able to use this, especially in the hot summer months. But the nice feature is, I don't know if you can see kind of like this open area up there, but there'll be a weight room there, and you'll be able to access it out from the weight room and utilize that.
And on this court, you'll be able to play basketball, volleyball, and badminton. Another neat feature is the police substation.
Well, yes, that's one of the most important functions of not only the community center to provide the recreational and educational, but as Phoenix keeps extending more to the northwest, it was important that we could bring community neighborhood policing more into these growing neighborhoods. And so the facility, it will be actually named after a police officer who was killed in the line of duty. His name is Jolie A. Booth. It'll be community center, but this right here will be a rounded counter area where the public, when they come up, they can meet the reception from the police to handle any kind of business they may have.
Just around the corner is the dance room.
The room that we have in here is our dance aerobic room, which we're really looking forward to. It'll have the glass mirrors on the walls, and we'll have the balance beam bars. Really nice feature. Because not too many of our centers have like a wooden dance floor. Sometimes we use mats, sometimes we use tiles, but we're very fortunate with this project to have quality flooring in it. Another nice feature is with the window here, this will also give staff the additional opportunity to kind of supervise our running track, which they're preparing right now with some of the surfacing and sealing it. But as you can see, you can look down again and see. You can kind of envision that there'll be activities and events and tournaments and clinics, so it's really, truly exciting.
Then there are the classrooms.
The nice thing is that it can either be one large classroom, or we will put a room divider where we can have two smaller classrooms.
And seniors will love the multi-purpose room.
During the week, Monday through Friday during day hours, the Human Services Department will be conducting a senior nutrition program and socialization program for the seniors. And back in here, they'll have a full-range kitchen where they can produce the meals and serve them here. But likewise, for those folks that are homebound, they'll also be able to make those deliveries out to those folks as well.
And on evenings and weekends, the space can be used for meetings or even wedding receptions. So Phoenix is calling this a mini city hall because of its uniqueness. The community center is due to open in the fall, with the park opening this summer. I'm Melody Burkett for On the Issues.
Thanks, Melody. Here to talk more about the Park and Community Center are L.B. Scasewater, the Acting Director of the Parks and Recreation Department, and Commander Emmett Quill with the Phoenix Police Department. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Commander, you were up here in Cactus Park about, what, 5 or 6 years ago?
It was 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
Good to
Appreciate
see
it.
you back here. And LB, it's always been a pleasure. I remember, working with you when I was on the Parks Board many years ago.
Yes, sir. Certainly did.
Always been a good time. We're really here to talk about something that is like a combination of two very special departments. And actually, there's more departments, but the Parks and Rec Department and the Phoenix Police Department coming together in a new community center, the same place, same time, and being able to work programs together. And I think that's really exciting. But let's talk about the history of the park and how we got to where we are today. LB, I know that you were there from the beginning when we had some issues over there with an existing park that you were involved in purchasing before I was on the council.
Absolutely. 1989, that's almost 15 years ago. That's a long time. But we were trying to locate a 25-acre unit, as you recall, in the Deer Valley area. Thought we had found a ideal site, and the neighborhood became alarmed, concerned that they weren't too familiar with what parks do. And they thought it would be an attraction to gangs and disreputable people and so on and so forth. And to make a long story short, we looked for another site and ended up at Pinnacle Peak and 35th Avenue, which is where this wonderful park's going to happen. It is happening.
Well,
and it's 40 acres.
Yeah, it's 40 acres. I remember when I got the call from yourself and others in the Parks and Recreation Department, they said, we've got a problem. We just put in for the light permit, and the neighborhood around 41st Avenue in Yorkshire was concerned about criminal activity in this park. And 25 acres really wasn't large enough for a really good regional park.
That's
It
true.
was very minimal. It was all we could afford at the time back in 1989. Those were some pretty lean years. And I remember meeting with the neighborhood, and we were trying to come up with a solution. And the only solution we could come up with is selling the park.
Yes.
And it was at that same point in time that I was working with the Planning Commission. I asked them to initiate a zoning case. We were actually the applicant for 160 acres on the southeast corner of 35th Avenue and Pinnacle Peak Road, and we were able to acquire, with a lot of work, 40 acres of parkland out of that 160 acres, basically 25% of their property, for free. And so we got about $2 million worth of parkland for free. We sold the other park and had the area developed with some very nice homes, so the neighborhood was happy. And we got about, I think, what was it, 1.2 million, I think, out of that parcel. That gave us enough money to put in some ball fields. But we didn't have the money to build the community center. And that's where the Parks and Preserve Initiative came in, and some good leadership from Mayor Rimza, and the whole council put a lot of work into that. And special thanks really to the community who voted for that. I think it passed, what was it, around 80%?
80%.
80% passage of supporting parks and preserves, and that's what built the community center. And then you look at what we have today in there. You have lighted ball fields, you have
playgrounds, soccer fields.
Right, a lot of things for the kids, classrooms. And what was funny about this was years ago we were talking about the police department needing a community-based policing center in all the districts, in all the precincts, and in every council district. And what came to my mind, Commander, was when we were talking about this other park property that we had and the concerns the community had, that guess what? We're afraid that there's going to be gang activity in this park if it's built. And so I proposed to the Public Safety Subcommittee, let's put the community-based policing center in the new parks. And that's kind of how we merged these together. And you've had the opportunity to see the facility. Tell me what you think of having the community-based policing center in that community center.
Well, from the officer's standpoint, it's going to be a great place to work. But I can remember discussing this issue with you 5, 6 years ago.
Right.
The idea would be to have a multi-service facility where you'd have an off-site police facility located therein. And I think it's a great idea. The community's going to benefit, but I can tell you Cactus Park has had an overcrowding problem for a good number of years. It's an older building, and there's been tremendous growth in the precinct. So we've added officers, but we haven't added office space. So the ability to go up to Paseo is going to be very popular with a lot of the officers going up there.
Speaking of that, that's one thing we hadn't mentioned. It's called Paseo Highlands Park,
Yes.
and we're having the grand opening on July 12th
Yes, sir.
at 9 a.m. And the other very special part of this is that the community center, thanks to a request I'd made to the Parks Board that they unanimously supported,
Yes.
changing the name of the community center and naming it after a fallen officer who had
Yes.
died in the line of duty, Golette Buff, who died in 1999 in District 1. And he was doing what we had asked, even Commander, back when you were there last time, go after the meth labs, go after the methamphetamine abuse that's happening in that area. And that's what he was doing, chasing down a meth suspect, and was killed in the line of duty. And one thing I think we always need to remember is we never forget our fallen officers. You know, people that give their lives in the line of duty, we never forget that. And I don't think you could find a better facility to have named after an officer. I mean, this is just an awesome facility.
And it's state of the art, there's no doubt about it. And when the bust is actually in place, I think it'll be truly impressive. Really will be.
It will be. And combining that, and one thing we need to remember, we have other departments there. We have development services,
Yes.
which will have you'll be actually able to get a building permit there.
Yes.
But let's talk a little bit for the folks that want to come out on July 12th at 9 a.m. And we'll have about an hour presentation of a few speeches, very short, so because it's hot out there, but actually doing the park dedication. We're going to do a dedication of the community center itself, and then the unveiling of something very special. So after an hour, they can go in and take tours. You'll have staff there
Yes,
to give them
yes.
entire tours of this building so they can see the huge gymnasium that's there.
Yes.
Instead of just seeing it on the film, they can actually come out and walk on it, look at it, look at the upstairs running track,
yes.
all the classrooms, the multi-purpose rooms. Truly an awesome, awesome facility. And Commander, as you said, it's state-of-the-art. And then combining public safety with community activities, which is truly a multi-generational center. It's for the
Yes.
kids, it's for seniors, it's for everybody in between. How are the officers taking it as far as any issues as to who gets to be assigned to the
It's
new
been a
area?
huge issue since I've been up there. Everybody wants to go up there. And, you know, the planning was outstanding, but we can only take so many officers. We're going to have about 73 officers. Basically, the 93 squad's going to move right in with a lieutenant and 8 sergeants. But you bring your net squad and your CAOs, but then you have to tell the other people, you know, we can't take everybody. So, in fact, I think they should have a commander's office up there.
Oh,
If we had
okay.
planned this
Maybe
properly.
a council office too.
Maybe you can work on that. That'd be great. I'd like to go up there.
It really is an awesome facility, but I have to hand it to Parks and Rec, who took the lead on getting the designers out there. In fact, I remember you contacted me, and I appointed the Citizens
Yes, you did.
Design Committee to look at all of the things that were required in a decent park. You know,
Yes.
how many ball fields we could fit. In fact, something a lot of people don't realize is there is a pool planned
Yes.
for part of that park. It's just not in this bond program.
That is
So
true.
maybe in the next bond program we can actually have a swimming pool.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, Councilman, for those that haven't seen the park, it is the future for Phoenix. That's the way we're going to be building parks and facilities in the future. That park, I feel safely telling you that it'll run 50 to 60,000 people a month will go through that park. It's beautiful. It has the additive of all the services. The fact that a police precinct is going to be there is just overwhelming. I mean, that is, people are going to love this. I guarantee you.
I can remember when I was on the Parks Board, we always did a study to find out who was having the greatest lack of services.
Yes.
And it truly was the northwest part of the city
Yes, sir.
had the fewest services for the amount of people. And this is the first park to be opened in the northwest since the Deer Valley Community
Yes.
Center, probably what, close to
Probably 20 years.
close to 20 years ago. And if you go far enough back, west of I-17, I think the next park would have been Cactus Park.
Yes.
That's the next large
Yes.
regional park to the south. So,
So this is major. This is major for your area.
well, and it's a
really.
major event, and we just need to welcome everybody and have everybody come out. We're going to have a lot of displays from the police department, from the fire department,
Yes.
from Parks and Rec. There's going to be a lot of city staff out there.
Yes.
And this is on July 12th at 9 a.m. It's going to be early enough in the morning to where it won't be too hot, be plenty of shade.
Yes.
To be able to take tours, be able to see all the playground equipment. So I encourage everybody, bring the kids and bring the entire family. Come out and see what all this effort that we've been putting in for many, many years is finally paying off. And like you said, LB, this is the next generation.
This is the next. Yes, it is.
This is the next generation for the entire city of Phoenix.
People will be pleased. We guarantee it.
I know they will be. I want to thank both of you. And again, Commander, welcome back to Cactus
Thanks,
Park.
appreciate it.